What's up, everyone? We are back and we got some billet aluminum goodies. Check that out. So if you guys remember from the last episode, we designed this custom bell housing adapter to accommodate a factory K20 flywheel and clutch because the other one was too small. It was basically just for F3 cars. So this one was actually printed by Jake from the Flying Dutchman. This is what we used for mock-up. Great piece, and I'll put his information down on the description. So if he has a giant printer, so if you guys need anything printed that's bigger than your normal 3D printer, I mean, this is pretty big. Hit him up. He does good work. And then over here, we just received this from my boy Jorge over at Reset Machine. This piece is just art. Like, I don't even want to put this thing on the truck. Like, it just deserves to be hung up on a wall. So Jorge, he does amazing work, and not only that, but he's also a car guy. Like, we've been friends for a really, really long time. I don't even know how long. So he was actually really stoked about the project as well, and he put this thing on his 5-axis and took his time on it. And as you can see, it's just, I mean, it's just great. Look at this. Threw the logo up in there. One thing we did add, as you can see, is those 2 lobes on each side. And that's going to be for mounting the engine and trans. It just makes it a lot easier. So on the 3D printed one, we didn't have these, but we just added these. So as you can see here, the work again is just, it's insane how good it is. This thing is full billet aluminum. The chunk that it came in before it was milled down, I think I want to say it was like around 100, it was a little over 100 pounds. And this thing weighs a little under 9 pounds now. Again. Again, Reset Machine, dude, just couldn't have been better right here. I will put the link down in the description if you guys need anything machined. Hit them up. And I'll show you guys how it looks on the transmission. But this is it. This is one of the biggest pieces, one of the biggest hurdles to this project, I think. Now just figuring everything else out to make sure that it fits properly, the shaft, clutch, flywheel, etc. So let's go put it on. So here we have the bell housing mounted to the transmission. It's actually not even mounted, not even bolted, it's just chilling. Don't mind the mess. And these little thingy-majiggies I made real quick to stand the transmission at the height the engine sits at, so it's easier to slide on and off. So you don't have to manhandle it every time or use a bunch of shims everywhere to get it perfect. If you look inside, the tolerances on this thing is just, it's awesome. And the machine work, again, is just, it's crazy. It's so awesome. If you saw the little hole on the right, that's where the lines are going to go for the throwout bearing. And then, as I mentioned before, we added these lobes right here. That's going to be a big central mounting point, I guess you can call it. So the chassis of the truck, it's going to come down here, mount to these lobes on each side, and then the engine will have two big engine mounts down in the front, on the bottom. Another huge shout out, definitely for sure, Tilton Engineering. They helped me out with a lot of my drivetrain questions because I'm not really an expert on drivetrain. So over here we have the throwout bearing. I don't have the shaft and the transmission right now because there was kind of an oops. It's got to be remade. And then over here we have the Tilton K20 flywheel. This is just your standard size K20 flywheel because again, that was the whole point of making this bell housing adapter. We wanted to run kind of a streetishable sort of transmission, I guess. Nobody's tried this, so we'll see how it goes. And then the clutch, the housing of it, this is actually the K20 housing, but the internals are a lot different. Since everything on the transmission was custom made, you send in your specs of what you want. So the guys at Tilton kind of helped us put this together with beefier discs, with the beefier, bigger size spline size and everything. Because the K20 ones, it's not small, but it's not as beefy as it could be. And I'll show you guys the difference on there here in a minute. I actually have them both. But yeah, so that's the whole package. Don't mind these marks. I have to redo them. Taking this on and off way too many times. So yeah, if you guys ever want this package for some weird reason, let me know. Now we got all spec'd out. So if you guys want to run this crazy transmission, I could sell you a package. And I'll show you guys the difference in the shafts. Oh, let me see if I can get this one over here. So this one here, that's your K20 factory size shaft. And the one that we're using is this guy right here. So you can see it's a lot beefier. So that's why we kind of used the K20 kit, but also kind of modified it to our own. All right, so this is actually where I'm at with the truck. The last video was kind of old. We just had it on the GoPro, so we released it. But since then, there's actually been quite a bit of work done. As you can see, the back bed cage is pretty much done. It's all tack welded. So this is how the bell housing works, how I was explaining a little bit earlier. Those two tabs that we added makes it so much easier to mount the engine and transmission. So the node right here comes together. This is all squared down here, goes down to the bottom of the main chassis, and then this one goes over by the node of the harness bar. And these top ones are actually going to be removable. So there's a bolt inside there, so that way if you ever want to remove the cab, you just remove these tubes. And then they all meet up right here at this node. Again, this is all tack welded. And you have the housing that kind of connects everything together as far as mounting. And then we just got to add two engine mounts here, one on each side. So as you can see, I already designed and made the plate that goes on this side. Excuse the random bolts I found. So you got the plate here, and then the other engine mount that I made will sit roughly, give or take, there. And then I just have to design the connector piece from here to there. So that's what's left today. That's the goal, is to finish the mounting for the engine. And then after that, we can make the transmission back on and then start A-arms hopefully. So the transmission, once the bell housing's on, it just slides right in, and yep, easy peasy. Got one of the engine mounts done. This is the intake manifold side. Super beefy, very overkill. The bottom dimple, as you can see, you can get to the 17mm bolt down there. Again, very overkill, but why not? Now I gotta make the other side. So here's the finished product for the engine mounts. They're not fully welded yet. Still got to weld down here. But these bushings, I'm actually going to replace them with either a solid bushing or maybe just even weld a steel bushing. Because one thing you have to remember is the transmission is actually connected to all the A-arms, and well, will be. And so if this engine has any play, that's going to affect my suspension as a whole. So here's one side, and let me go to the other side. And here is the other side. This side was a lot easier to do. It's actually more straightforward. However, it's a lot easier having a CAD file of the block, because then I can just pick up the points and draw off of those real quick. So that's gonna be it, guys, for this video. Hopefully next video we'll have some A-arms to work on. And so here's a little sneak peek for the next video. So alright guys, well thanks for watching, and I hope you guys are enjoying this build. It should get a lot more interesting, and you guys should start seeing where it's going. Make sure you like the videos, comment, or anything, just to help us out. Thank you.